NPCs exist in many forms: important story characters, quest givers, or simply background actors. But whatever their function, they add life and interest to otherwise static, lifeless worlds. But how often do we actually pay close attention to them? And what motivates these little computer people when we're not around? Hi, I'm Napyet, and this is The Private Life of NPCs, a fascinating web series in which we investigate the true nature of video game NPCs. Whether you join me or not, that's entirely up to you. XCOM 2 is a game I know pretty well, but I've got to admit I never paid that close attention to the civilian NPCs. Just don't shoot them. That's the main thing. This time, however, they are the focus of our mission. First, we've got to make contact, hopefully figure out what their deal is, and then escort them out of the battle zone unharmed. First hurdle to overcome is obviously the fact that they're surrounded by a decent load of these guards. There you go, he's heard something. And, yep, him as well. I actually did some reading up on these guys, the sectoids, back on the Avenger. Not only do they do the mind control thing, they're just, well, not pricks, they're just really passive aggressive. Probably that's why this guy's basically stock still, isn't he? He's not looking left or right. He doesn't want to poke the bear, poke the sectoid. So what I'm thinking is we need to alert them to our presence without giving the game away. And maybe we can repurpose the claymore for that. We're not going to detonate it. Like, you don't want to keep your detonator in your pocket if you're doing this kind of thing. Initially, I thought this was a good sign. Self-preservation, they're ducking down. That's a perfectly understandable human instinct. But then this happened. Completely back to the status quo, which suggests some kind of deep Advent conditioning designed to placate humans in the presence of sparkling objects. Whatever the case, it seems clear that if we're going to have time to get through to these guys, we're going to have to remove the threats surrounding them. This is what we're looking for, a kind of human response to danger. Ideally, this guy should be shitting himself, and by the look on his face, I think we've got through to him. But Advent can be trusted to try its mind games on us. I'd never seen this one before, but actually, it very nearly worked. An advanced form of psyops called hide and hypnosis.
Heading there now.
They won't be trying that again. Okay, look, there's a possibility I may have come on a bit strong. But, you know, this is the reality of war. You need to suck it up. Just go get this guy, sit him down, and let's talk.
Here.
God damn it. We have to buy some time here. All right. Let's hold these guys off.
The transfer.
Yeah, shoot that thing, or every flying saucer from here until Kingdom Come's gonna arrive. I love it when a plan comes together. There's really nothing these guys can... so we need to take these guys out without making matters worse. I feel like the oppressed have become the oppressor here. I've given the wrong impression of myself to these civilians. So let's do this quietly, surgically, and not give these guys more reason to panic.
Now we fight in the open.
It's like one of those army recruitment ads where they show you soldiers pacifying people who are fighting over the water in a well. It's not our skill set. I mean, I'm a peacekeeper now. When did that happen?
Rolling.
But you've got to at least stay... Give me time. Look into my eyes. You see? Friend. I friend. It's an entirely new skill set for XCOM. Maybe I should have realised. Funny. Thank goodness comedians still exist amongst all this oppressive horror.
Heading to that location.
This guy's determined. And now he can turn invisible. He's just hiding behind the pillar.
Roger that.
Okay, shimmy up the drain pipe, cut off all his escape routes, I think is the only way. Like, corner him like a cat, stick a firework up his ass. Which is where we started, really. I feel like it's make or break time. You've either got to get on the Avenger, or we leave you here to subsist on whatever the hell is in those Advent burgers. I can't hold these guys off forever. Get to the chopper!
Moving.
No, no, no. Alright, fine. Fine. There's some kind of deep conditioning to do with Advent burger addiction, I think, at this stage, but... We gotta get out of here. I mean, I could rifle butt him, but maybe I'm losing sight of the focus here is to understand, not to rifle butt.
Status confirmed. Mission accomplished.
Debatable. The false sense of security offered by an oppressive police state, chronic addiction to Advent burgers, could these be the things that motivate NPCs in this tactical, turn-based world? I choose to believe not. I choose to believe there's more to them. Yet the burden of living out one's life in a rigidly ordered sequence obviously can take its toll. I'd turn to the bottle too if every trip to Tesco's became an arduous game of trolley chess. Luckily, a chance to investigate further arrived in the form of an extraction mission. Perhaps these NPCs, a scientist and 2 soldiers, might exhibit a level of agency absent in the general population. There's only one way to find out. We decided to clear the closest buildings first, being that they were the closest, and it was not long before we stumbled across our objective.
We have a visual confirmation on the VIP.
Initial impressions, however, were troubling. Scientists with an obsessive interest in shelving can be a problem, and this guy looked like a textbook case. Textbooks are in fact the thing that these scientists are looking for, traumatized as they are by the great Advent book burning of 2012.
Menace 1-5, you've got the primary targets in tow. Secure any additional operatives if possible, but make sure you get our contacts to the evac point.
He'll certainly need help back at base. Maybe a sit down with Central, who has a way of slapping the silly out of people. Let's have a look at these stranded operatives. Not good. Not good. Smoking on the job? Definite no-no, which just suggests a laissez-faire attitude to combat in general. This lady, on the other hand, it looks pretty switched on to me. Potential recruit. I'm loving the throw. Let's get this guy out of here.
Orders confirmed. Moving out. Are those humans? It appears the alien devices...
Between you and me, we on the team have been expecting the Lost. It's basically Dr. Tigan just pretending every encounter is the first time we've seen them. He's unable to come to terms with the fact that most of his family probably look like this now. Background dancers from a Michael Jackson video. They do have a fatal flaw, however, which we will be using to our advantage.
Round 1. Fight! Rolling!
Yes, it's a bit of an exploit with the Lost and means you can just fire at Advent and down below. Throw as many grenades as you like. That's not our focus right now. The focus is the civilian and making sure he's okay. If we get this guy out of the danger zone psychologically in one piece, I feel like that's a win. I've gone from being terrified of Advent on these missions to kind of feeling a little bit sorry for them, you know. I mean, look at this guy. Poor thing. Completely oblivious. But this is an investigation of games, so I might as well use every quirk of this game to my advantage. Quite apart from that, it's an awful lot of fun to kill things.
Burning through ammo fast! Got him. Toss me some ammo. Reloaded. Roger that. Enemy eliminated.
At this point, something mysterious but rather wondrous occurred. Perhaps a result of the flow state we'd entered, where we appeared invulnerable. We ascended to a higher plane of consciousness. In this place, time had no meaning. The war continued, but all the combatants were now ephemeral. It's kind of like what the commander must have experienced when he was an Advent prisoner, but endless battles with no negative consequences. However, being able to see what you're shooting is kind of a prerequisite, so I had to reload. With Advent and the Lost having been effectively neutralized, extraction was something of a formality.
VIP secure and in position
Roger
for
that.
evac. Firebrand has the VIP.
Returning to the Avenger, however, we took stock of what we'd learned. The scientist seemed no worse for wear, yet we were struck by how quiet he'd been on the journey back. No chocolate or flowers, both common gifts bestowed upon liberators during World War II. Hey, no problem, you're welcome. Perhaps it will take him time to fully comprehend that he no longer needs to feel afraid. He is surrounded by people sworn to protect him, for whom the satisfaction of a job well done, that's reward enough. Yet the quest for understanding never ends. I hope that you, as a viewer of this Yet the quest for understanding never truly ends. I hope that you, as the viewer of this video, will join me in the next fascinating installment in this investigative docu web series. This for me is a selfless pursuit. Just like XCOM, I ask for no recompense nor reward except perhaps your continued attention. And maybe ad revenue at some point.